Sex addiction, a term often fraught with controversy and misunderstanding, has gripped the lives of many in the glitzy and scandalous world of Hollywood. Fame, fortune, and unchecked access to indulgence can amplify personal struggles, and for some, it manifests in compulsive sexual behavior that spirals out of control. Below is an exploration of 30 Hollywood figures whose alleged sex addiction not only defined parts of their lives, but also made headlines, sparking conversations about the intersection of celebrity power and personal demons. Before we start, hit the like and subscribe buttons for more exclusive news. 1. Charlie Sheen, the unraveling of a Hollywood wildcard. Charlie Sheen, a quintessential Hollywood bad boy, epitomized the destructive consequences of excess. Rising to fame with films like Platoon and Wall Street, Sheen's career took off quickly, making him one of the highest-paid actors on television during his stint on 2.5 Men. However, his off-screen antics often overshadowed his professional achievements. Sheen himself admitted to indulging in an endless array of sexual escapades, spending millions of dollars on escorts and pornography. His relationships with adult film stars were public knowledge, and he boasted openly about sleeping with thousands of women. Sheen's sex addiction became a lightning rod for his other issues, including substance abuse and erratic behavior. He infamously declared he was winning while exhibiting troubling signs of mental instability. His escapades led to multiple legal battles, failed relationships, and the revelation in 2015 that he was HIV positive. Sheen's public unraveling highlighted the darker undercurrents of his lifestyle, leaving a lasting impact on his career and personal life. 2. Tiger Woods, a tale of scandal and redemption. Although Tiger Woods is primarily celebrated for his achievements on the golf course, his fall from grace was rooted in a series of sexual indiscretions. In 2009, Woods' carefully cultivated image as a family man crumbled when reports of his extramarital affairs surfaced. More than a dozen women came forward, alleging relationships with the golfer. The subsequent media frenzy exposed a hidden life of compulsive behavior that many associated with sex addiction. Woods sought treatment for his addiction, admitting to personal failings and entering a rehabilitation program. The scandal not only cost him endorsements worth millions of dollars, but also led to the dissolution of his marriage to Elin Nordegren. While Woods eventually returned to professional success, his image remained forever altered. His story became a cautionary tale about how unchecked addiction could devastate even the most seemingly disciplined and successful individuals. 3. David Duchovny, from Hollywood star to rehab patient. David Duchovny, best known for his role as Fox Mulder in The X-Files and as Hank Moody in Californication, shocked fans when he entered a rehabilitation facility for sex addiction in 2008. Duchovny's confession came during his marriage to actress Tay Leone, a union that eventually ended in divorce. Unlike others embroiled in public scandals, Duchovny's struggle was less about tabloid headlines and more about introspection. His portrayal of a sex-addicted character on Californication added an ironic layer to his real-life battle. Despite the personal turmoil, Duchovny has been open about seeking help and working to overcome his compulsions. His candidness about the issue helped destigmatize the conversation surrounding sex addiction and highlighted the importance of seeking treatment. 4. Russell Brand, from Lothario to advocate. British comedian and actor Russell Brand once reveled in his reputation as a promiscuous libertine, openly admitting to sleeping with hundreds of women. At the height of his career, Brand's addiction to sex was as consuming as his previous struggles with drug and alcohol abuse. He described his compulsions as a constant need for validation and intimacy, which led to a cycle of unhealthy relationships and one-night stands. Brand eventually sought help, attending a 12-step program for sex addiction and becoming an advocate for recovery. His transformation from a notorious playboy to a devoted husband and father has been remarkable. Brand's honesty about his past and his journey towards self-improvement have made him an inspirational figure for others grappling with similar issues. His story underscores the possibility of redemption, even for those who have lived lives dominated by addiction. 5. Michael Douglas, the tabloid frenzy of a Hollywood legend. Michael Douglas, an Academy Award-winning actor known for his roles in films like Wall Street and Basic Instinct, was thrust into the spotlight for his alleged sex addiction in the 1990s. Although Douglas later denied being a sex addict, his admission to rehab for addiction treatment was widely interpreted as related to compulsive sexual behavior. The media latched onto the story, turning Douglas into a poster child for Hollywood's hedonistic underbelly. The frenzy surrounding Douglas's alleged addiction overshadowed his career at times, yet the actor managed to maintain his reputation as a consummate professional. His marriage to actress Catherine Zeta-Jones has endured despite public scrutiny, and Douglas has largely avoided further scandals. His experience revealed the intense public fascination with celebrities' private lives, particularly when it involves sex and addiction. 6. Harvey Weinstein, a predator masked by power. Harvey Weinstein's name has become synonymous with Hollywood's dark side, representing not just sex addiction but abuse of power. Once one of the most influential producers in the film industry, Weinstein was exposed as a serial predator in 2017 when dozens of women came forward with allegations of sexual harassment, assault, and rape. The allegations painted a picture of a man whose sexual compulsions were deeply intertwined with his misuse of authority. Unlike others on this list, Weinstein's actions were criminal in nature, and his alleged sex addiction served as a thin veil for predatory behavior. He was sentenced to prison for his crimes, and the scandal sparked the #MeToo movement, which aimed to hold powerful figures accountable for abuse. Weinstein's fall from grace was unprecedented in Hollywood history, marking a watershed moment for the industry. 7. Anthony Weiner, a career derailed by scandal. Anthony Weiner, a former congressman and political figure, became infamous for his sexting scandals, which ultimately derailed his career and marriage. While not a Hollywood celebrity in the traditional sense, Weiner's notoriety and public life placed him under the same intense media scrutiny as any star. His compulsive behavior, including sending explicit messages and photos to numerous women, became public in 2011 and led to his resignation from Congress. Weiner's struggles with self-control didn't end there. A second scandal erupted in 2013 during his attempt to return to politics, and yet another, involving explicit messages sent to a minor, resulted in a prison sentence. Weiner entered a rehabilitation program for sex addiction, but the damage to his career and personal life was irreversible. His story reflects how sexual compulsions, when left unchecked, can devastate not only public perception but also personal relationships and freedom. 8. Jesse James, the fall of a celebrity bad boy. Jesse James, a custom motorcycle builder and reality TV star, made headlines for his turbulent personal life, particularly his highly publicized marriage and subsequent divorce from actress Sandra Bullock. In 2010, multiple women came forward claiming they had affairs with James during his marriage. These revelations not only shocked fans, but also led to his public admission of sex addiction. James checked into rehab to address his behavior, but his reputation as a family man was shattered. His infidelities and compulsions painted him as yet another example of a celebrity who seemingly had it all yet succumbed to destructive urges. Despite his attempts to rebuild his image, James's scandals have overshadowed much of his career, serving as a cautionary tale about the price of unrestrained indulgence. 9. Rob Lowe, a scandal before its time. Rob Lowe was one of Hollywood's brightest young stars in the 1980s, but his career was nearly derailed by a sex tape scandal in 1988. The tape, which featured Lowe and two women, one of whom was underage, became one of the first major sex scandals in the era of VHS. While Lowe's behavior was framed as a symptom of Hollywood's excess, it also highlighted issues with consent and exploitation. Lowe later admitted to battling impulses that could be linked to sex addiction, though he never officially sought treatment. Instead, he turned his life around, focusing on family and sobriety. His ability to recover from the scandal and reinvent himself as a respected actor and advocate is remarkable, but the episode remains a stark reminder of how celebrity excess can lead to personal and professional disaster. 10. Kevin Spacey, allegations of compulsion and misconduct. Kevin Spacey, an Academy Award-winning actor, saw his career come to a grinding halt in 2017 when allegations of sexual misconduct emerged. While not explicitly tied to sex addiction, the numerous accusations against Spacey, including those involving coercion and harassment, pointed to a pattern of compulsive and predatory behavior. The revelations led to Spacey being removed from high-profile projects, including his role in the hit Netflix series House of Cards. Spacey has largely retreated from public life, and his story remains one of the most controversial in recent Hollywood history. Though his actions have not been framed within the context of addiction, they underscore the devastating impact that unchecked desires can have when combined with fame and power. 11. John Mayer, a self-proclaimed recovering ego addict. John Mayer, a Grammy-winning singer-songwriter, has been candid about his struggles with relationships and intimacy. Known for his high-profile romances with stars like Jennifer Aniston, Jessica Simpson, and Taylor Swift, Mayer admitted in interviews to having an unhealthy obsession with sex and validation. He once described himself as a recovering ego addict, acknowledging how his compulsions drove much of his behavior in his early career. Mayer's candidness about his struggles has sparked discussions about the intersection of fame, narcissism, and addiction. While he has worked to cultivate a more grounded public persona in recent years, his past behavior serves as a reminder of how fame can exacerbate underlying issues, leading to patterns of self-destruction and regret. 12. Bill Cosby, a legacy destroyed by predator allegations. Bill Cosby, once revered as America's dad for his role on The Cosby Show, became one of the most notorious figures in Hollywood after dozens of women accused him of sexual assault and misconduct. While Cosby's behavior does not align with the clinical definition of sex addiction, the sheer scale of his predatory actions suggests a compulsive need for control and sexual gratification. In 2018, Cosby was convicted of aggravated indecent assault, marking a dramatic fall from grace for the beloved comedian. The allegations against him, spanning decades, destroyed his legacy and led to a broader reckoning in Hollywood regarding sexual misconduct and abuse. Though Cosby's actions were rooted in criminal behavior rather than addiction, his story serves as a chilling reminder of how unchecked power and privilege can enable destructive compulsions. 13. Hugh Grant, the scandal that shook a rom-com star. Hugh Grant, one of the most beloved romantic comedy actors of the 1990s, shocked the world in 1995 when he was arrested for lewd conduct with a sex worker in Los Angeles. At the time, Grant was at the height of his career, known for his charming performances in films like 4 Weddings and a Funeral. His arrest not only tarnished his image, but also led to widespread speculation about his compulsive behavior. While Grant never publicly identified as a sex addict, the incident exposed a side of him at odds with his polished public persona. In interviews, he admitted to making a bad decision, but stopped short of exploring deeper underlying issues. The scandal served as a wake-up call for the actor, who has since rebuilt his reputation through successful roles and a more grounded approach to his personal life. 14. Tiger King's Joe Exotic, a life of excess and chaos. Joe Exotic, the eccentric star of the Netflix docuseries Tiger King, was no stranger to controversy, and his personal life was as chaotic as his dealings with exotic animals. While much of the public's attention focused on his feuds and legal troubles, Exotic also displayed signs of compulsive sexual behavior. He openly admitted to his insatiable desires, often boasting about his unconventional relationships and escapades. Exotic's relationships, often with much younger partners, were characterized by instability and control, pointing to deeper issues beyond just indulgence. Though his actions were never officially labeled as sex addiction, his impulsive behavior and lack of boundaries hinted at a larger pattern. His story illustrates how unchecked compulsions can manifest in extreme ways, leading to both personal and professional downfall. 15. Colin Farrell, a Hollywood heartthrob struggles. Colin Farrell, an Irish actor known for his rugged charm and intense performances, was once infamous for his wild lifestyle, which included heavy drinking, drug use, and sexual escapades. Farrell's reputation as a Hollywood bad boy was cemented by rumors of numerous affairs and a leaked sex tape that became a media sensation in the early 2000s. Farrell later admitted to seeking help for his addictions, including sex. He described how fame amplified his compulsions, leading to self-destructive behavior that threatened to derail his career. After entering rehab, Farrell embraced sobriety and began focusing on his craft, earning critical acclaim for his roles in films like In Bruges and The Banshees of Inisherin. His journey highlights the possibility of redemption and recovery, even for those who have lived on the edge. 16. Kiefer Sutherland, Compulsions and Controversy. Kiefer Sutherland, the star of the hit TV series 24, was another Hollywood figure whose personal life often overshadowed his professional achievements. While Sutherland's struggles with alcohol were well documented, his rumored issues with relationships and intimacy also drew attention. Known for his fiery temper and tumultuous love life, Sutherland's behavior raised questions about his ability to manage his personal relationships. Although Sutherland never publicly addressed sex addiction, his compulsive tendencies in his personal life mirrored those of other celebrities who struggled with similar issues. His off-screen antics, including public breakups and reckless decisions, painted a picture of a man grappling with deeper compulsions. Over time, Sutherland has worked to stabilize his life, focusing on his career and personal growth. 17. Dennis Rodman, the NBA's wild child. Dennis Rodman, the flamboyant NBA star and cultural icon, became notorious not just for his basketball prowess, but also for his outrageous behavior off the court. Rodman's sex life was a frequent topic of tabloid coverage, with the athlete boasting about his numerous conquests, including high-profile relationships with celebrities like Madonna and Carmen Electra. Rodman's compulsive behavior extended beyond sex, encompassing partying, substance abuse, and erratic public appearances. His larger-than-life persona masked deeper struggles with addiction and self-worth. Rodman's actions, while entertaining to some, were also indicative of a life spinning out of control. Despite these challenges, Rodman has remained a fascinating figure, embodying the extremes of celebrity culture and its impact on personal behavior. 18. Marilyn Monroe, the price of fame and intimacy. Marilyn Monroe, one of Hollywood's most iconic figures, lived a life filled with glamour, but also deep personal turmoil. Monroe's relationships with powerful men, including President John F. Kennedy and playwright Arthur Miller, were well documented, as were her struggles with self-esteem and intimacy. Some biographers and psychologists have speculated that Monroe exhibited signs of sex addiction, using physical intimacy as a way to seek validation and love. Her tumultuous personal life and tragic death at the age of 36 highlighted the emotional cost of fame. Monroe's compulsive behavior in relationships, coupled with her struggles with mental health and substance abuse, painted a portrait of a woman searching for connection in a world that often reduced her to a symbol. Her story continues to resonate as a cautionary tale about the toll of celebrity on emotional well-being. 19. Lindsay Lohan, a troubled starlet's search for fulfillment. Lindsay Lohan, once a promising actress with hits like Mean Girls and The Parent Trap, became synonymous with Hollywood excess as her personal life spiraled out of control. While much of the media focus was on her substance abuse, insiders hinted at compulsive behavior in her romantic relationships and sexual encounters. Lohan's pattern of engaging in tumultuous relationships and brief flings pointed to a search for validation through physical intimacy. Though she never publicly identified as a sex addict, Lohan's behavior often mirrored the compulsive cycles seen in addiction. Her struggles were compounded by the relentless tabloid scrutiny that accompanied her every move. Over the years, Lohan has worked to reclaim her life and career, but her turbulent past remains a reminder of how fame can exacerbate personal vulnerabilities. 20. Tiger King's Doc Antle, a life of polyamory and controversy. Bhagavan Doc Antle, featured in the Netflix series Tiger King, is known for his controversial lifestyle, which includes managing a zoo and living in a compound with multiple female partners. Antle's polyamorous relationship sparked outrage and curiosity, with some suggesting that his behavior bordered on exploitation rather than consensual arrangements. While Antle has denied any wrongdoing, his lifestyle and the power dynamics within his relationships have led to accusations of manipulation and compulsion. His story reflects the blurred lines between consensual non-monogamy and predatory behavior when fame and authority come into play. Antle remains a divisive figure, with his actions continuing to raise questions about morality and power. 21. Tila Tequila, from reality TV star to scandal magnate. Tila Tequila, a reality TV personality and internet star, rose to fame in the early 2000s through platforms like MySpace and her reality show A Shot at Love with Tila Tequila. Alongside her career, she became infamous for her volatile behavior, which included compulsive and attention-seeking actions in her personal relationships. Tequila's numerous public romances and her candid discussion of her sex life added to her provocative image. While Tequila never admitted to sex addiction, her erratic and self-destructive choices often reflected deeper emotional struggles. Her descent into conspiracy theories and bizarre public outbursts in later years overshadowed her once thriving career. Tequila's story is a cautionary tale of how the pursuit of fame and validation can lead to personal chaos. 22. Gene Simmons, the rock star who refused to settle down. Gene Simmons, the bassist and co-lead singer of the legendary rock band Kiss, has long been open about his sexual escapades. Simmons famously claimed to have slept with thousands of women during his career, boasting about his conquests in interviews and even documenting them through photographs. While Simmons has not identified as a sex addict, his behavior fits the profile of compulsive sexuality driven by the hedonistic lifestyle of a rock star. Simmons' marriage to actress Shannon Tweed brought some stability to his life, though not without challenges. Despite their enduring relationship, Simmons' past remains a defining aspect of his public persona. His story reflects the culture of excess that often accompanies rock stardom, blurring the line between indulgence and addiction. 23. Courtney Love, chaos, controversy, and intimacy. Courtney Love, a singer, actress, and widow of Nirvana frontman Kurt Cobain, has led a life filled with turmoil and excess. Known for her raw talent and wild behavior, Love has often spoken openly about her relationships and her appetite for chaos. Her romantic entanglements with high-profile figures, including Cobain and actor Edward Norton, were frequently tumultuous, reflecting a pattern of compulsive and self-destructive behavior. While Love's struggles with drug addiction have been well documented, her need for validation and intimacy also played a significant role in her life's narrative. Her honesty about her chaotic past has made her a fascinating figure, embodying both the allure and the destructive potential of fame. 24. Mick Jagger, a rock icon's legendary libido. Mick Jagger, the lead singer of the Rolling Stones, has long been known for his charisma, talent, and insatiable appetite for pleasure. Jagger's reputation as a womanizer is legendary, with numerous accounts of his romantic escapades involving supermodels, actresses, and countless fans. His compulsive pursuit of intimacy became a defining aspect of his public persona, contributing to the mythos of rock and roll excess. Despite his numerous relationships, Jagger has maintained a career spanning decades, cementing his place as one of music's greatest icons. His story serves as a reflection of the hedonism that defined the rock scene of the 20th century, highlighting both its glamour and its pitfalls. 25. Elvis Presley, the King's complicated relationships. Elvis Presley, known as the King of Rock and Roll, lived a life of immense fame, fortune, and indulgence. While Presley's musical talent captivated the world, his personal relationships were often tumultuous. His fascination with younger women, including Priscilla Presley, whom he began courting when she was just 14, raised eyebrows and has been the subject of scrutiny over the years. Though not explicitly labeled as a sex addict, Presley's compulsive pursuit of intimacy was evident in his relationships, affairs, and his preference for constant companionship. These behaviors were compounded by his struggles with prescription drug abuse, which further complicated his personal life. His story illustrates the intersection of power, adoration, and the vulnerabilities that can accompany superstardom. 26. Sean Penn, A Life of Passion and Controversy. Sean Penn, an Academy Award-winning actor and activist, has often made headlines for his passionate and sometimes volatile relationships. Known for his high-profile marriages to Madonna and Robin Wright, Penn's love life has been a constant source of tabloid fascination. His compulsive behavior in relationships often mirrored the intensity of his on-screen performances, with many describing his actions as driven by an overwhelming need for connection. Penn's romantic entanglements frequently ended in scandal or acrimony, and his fiery temper further fueled rumors about his compulsions. Though he has channeled much of his energy into activism and filmmaking in recent years, Penn's personal life remains a vivid reminder of how unchecked emotions can complicate intimacy and relationships. 27. Amber Heard, Turmoil in the Spotlight. Amber Heard, an actress known for her roles in films like Aquaman and the Rum Diary, has been at the center of some of Hollywood's most contentious scandals. Her tumultuous marriage to Johnny Depp revealed a complex and chaotic personal life, with allegations of abuse and toxic behavior dominating headlines. Heard's reported history of short-lived, intense relationships points to potential compulsive tendencies, driven by a need for control and validation. While Heard has not identified as a sex addict, her erratic behavior and volatile relationships reflect patterns often associated with emotional and physical dependency. The public dissection of her personal life underscores the pressures of celebrity and the challenges of navigating intimate relationships in the spotlight. 28. Charlie Chaplin, a silent film icon's troubling obsessions. Charlie Chaplin, one of the most celebrated actors and filmmakers of the silent film era, had a complicated personal life marked by his relationships with much younger women. Chaplin's pattern of courting teenage girls, some of whom he later married, sparked significant controversy during his career. His compulsive pursuit of these relationships led to legal battles, public scandals, and intense scrutiny. Chaplin's behavior, while reflective of his era's norms to some extent, revealed an underlying fixation that fueled much of the drama in his personal life. Despite his immense contributions to cinema, his actions left a troubling legacy, showing how fame and power can amplify personal flaws. 29. Anna Nicole Smith, A Tragic Quest for Love and Validation. Anna Nicole Smith, a model and reality TV star, became an icon of excess and tragedy in Hollywood. Known for her marriage to billionaire J. Howard Marshall II and her tumultuous personal life, Smith's relationships were often marked by instability and controversy. Her pursuit of intimacy and validation frequently made headlines, with critics pointing to her patterns of compulsive behavior. Smith's struggles with addiction, combined with her constant search for love and acceptance, painted a picture of a woman overwhelmed by fame and its demands. Her untimely death in 2007 at the age of 39 was a tragic end to a life defined by highs and lows, leaving a legacy of unanswered questions about the toll of celebrity on emotional health. 30. Warren Beatty, Hollywood's ultimate ladies' man. Warren Beatty, a legendary actor and director, was famously described as one of Hollywood's most prolific womanizers. Known for his charm and good looks, Beatty reportedly had romantic relationships with hundreds of women during his career, including some of the most famous actresses of his time. His compulsive pursuit of intimacy became part of his mystique, overshadowing his considerable talents as a filmmaker. While Beatty eventually settled down with actress Annette Bening, his reputation as a Hollywood Casanova endures. His life serves as a reminder of how fame can enable indulgent behavior and how even the most seemingly untouchable stars can struggle to find stability in their personal lives. The 20 individuals spotlighted reveal the complex interplay of fame, power, and personal struggles, each serving as a vivid case study in how compulsive behavior, especially related to sex and intimacy, can both shape and derail lives. From early Hollywood icons to modern-day stars, these figures encapsulate the darker sides of stardom, where unlimited access to indulgences often exacerbates pre-existing vulnerabilities. Charlie Sheen's extravagant lifestyle and public unraveling showcased the destructive effects of unchecked indulgence, while Tiger Woods' fall from grace revealed how compulsions could tarnish even the most disciplined of images. Similarly, David Duchovny and Russell Brand sought treatment and transformation, demonstrating that redemption is possible for those willing to confront their struggles. Meanwhile, the sinister side of power was epitomized by figures like Harvey Weinstein and Bill Cosby, whose alleged addictions masked predatory and criminal behaviors that forever changed Hollywood's cultural landscape. The rock and roll legends from Mick Jagger to Gene Simmons embodied the hedonistic allure of fame, where excess often blurred the line between personal freedom and addiction. Their pursuits of intimacy and validation became as legendary as their music, contributing to their mystique while raising questions about the price of indulgence. Marilyn Monroe's tragic story remains one of the most poignant, a symbol of how the pursuit of love and validation can spiral in the unforgiving glare of celebrity. Modern scandals involving figures like Lindsay Lohan, Amber Heard, and Tila Tequila illustrate the heightened scrutiny faced by today's celebrities. Their struggles, whether self-inflicted or circumstantial, reveal how compulsive behavior plays out in a media-saturated world. The reality of addiction and the search for intimacy are often overshadowed by public judgment, reducing these complex individuals to caricatures of their worst moments. The stories of icons like Elvis Presley and Charlie Chaplin remind us that these struggles are not new. From the golden age of Hollywood to the modern era, the cycle of indulgence, scandal, and redemption has been a constant. Yet some, like Sean Penn and Warren Beatty, demonstrate how individuals can grapple with their compulsions while finding stability later in life. These stories, though salacious, highlight broader conversations about mental health, power dynamics, and the human need for connection. They serve as cautionary tales and, in some cases, as inspirations for recovery and change, illustrating that even the most glamorous lives are not immune to profound struggles. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, could you leave your comments below and tell us, what are your thoughts on the worst sex addicts in Hollywood history? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.